Agentic Engineering, where AI meets infrastructure.
Okay, hello and welcome to the quick talk about MCP protocol and agents, and also general models, tools, and developments in the AI space that can be leveraged to implement in your platform or just daily life. So I assume everybody heard about MCP, at least somewhat, because if you do anything about AI or work with it, this phrase is oftentimes repeated multiple times, and this is the model context protocol architecture, which is now almost a year old, which in terms of AI is very, very old. So this is being introduced by Anthropic with multiple changes throughout the years. However, the basics is like you can see here. So this is a standardized protocol that can have multiple things inside that leverage the capabilities of LLMs to be able to do stuff, not only chat, but also do things that actually affect the real world. So any basically tool that you can think of is potentially available as an MCP server in the MCP protocol. So there are multiple registries, and I will show some of them. However, this is one of the components that's necessary to actually understand what's going on in the agent at all. So this is one of those. All those links I will share later in a condensed form, so don't worry about this. So this is model context protocol. Another thing that you need to know about is another protocol that's being called A2A, so agent to agent protocol. So this one actually was introduced a little bit later by Google. And this one is actually, as the name suggests, protocol that actually leverages communication between agents itself. So you can have multiple agents that basically talk to each other by doing different tasks. One of those, for example, could be orchestration. So one agent says, okay, do something for me, but it doesn't know how to. So it asks another agent that actually knows how to do this thing that you want. And then they communicate between each other, knowing each other's capabilities. And in the end, you get the result that you need. This is leveraged by multiple references architectures, and I will show like in the two tabs what it can look like. So this is another tool to be able to have the concept of agents affect the real world. Another one actually that's introduced very, very recently is something called Agents MD. This is README for agents. This is something you should leverage in every repository if you have it, or basically anywhere that agent have access to. This actually tells them what to do, how to do it, and in condensed form. You can treat it as a basic instructions from your side to the agents that actually don't know what your, for example, repository does. So README is for, as I said, README is for people. Agents MD is for agents. Nothing much there. And this one of is actually being used by basically everyone. I can see here, yeah, all those logos. So this is another tool that actually can be and should be used as much as possible. So another development that actually is from today, which I haven't had the chance to read fully through. However, this is one of those that can be very, very useful in regards to model context protocol extension. So gRPC, which is Google format, but this will be open source, of course. So this one actually leverages something that is a very, very important topic in this agent space. So authentication, authorization, and roles, and making sure that agent has access to the only specific thing that you really wanted to have it. So stuff like that. So this is just, as I said, it's from today, so I haven't had the time to read through it, but something to note about. Now we can see something about proper like AI platform engineering, which is Kano, and they have a big repository. However, I want to highlight one of those things. So the reference architecture. So this is the reference architecture that actually takes into account all of those protocols that I mentioned. As you can see, A2A here, MCP, and so on, out server, and so on. This is something that can be used as a reference how to build a proper system in a distributed way, but also in an enterprise environment. So somewhere where you need to have multiple MCP servers, multiple users of those MCP servers, multiple agents, multiple providers, basically scale. So this is much more different than you just running it from your own chat application. This is for as I say, for enterprises. However, this is very useful to know and potentially use if you need to. So that's like a general links and very quick overview of what is being used inside. So we can move on to the actually where you can use this and how can you test this. How can you actually create some agent that you can have do stuff, right? So beginning from the enterprise side, so this Amazon Bedrock is one of those tools that you can use, and actually you can use it for free, more or less, because you can have credits when you create a new account. So you can leverage like at least $100 to just test whatever you want there. And if you're a startup, for example, you can have even more money for free. They allow at least 1,000 or more bucks for this kind of thing. So keep that in mind. If you have limited budgets, this is very useful. Same for actually for the Microsoft side with Microsoft Foundry. This is another tool that you can leverage multiple LLM models and build quickly and iterate through agents, through your ideas, and so on. So this one has similar to Bedrock free tiers, and you can have credits and so on. So keep that in mind if you have like preference for one or the other. The models are slightly different between them, but available models. But still, this is a lot of selection that you can have. However, if you don't need the enterprise ones and you want to have much more choice, I suggest do something with OpenRouter or similar resources, which actually leverage like hundreds of thousands of models. You can check here, and basically you pay for one thing and get access to like this. Like you can see here, 606 models here currently. So that's way more that's available in anywhere in the Amazon or Microsoft side. So this one is very useful. However, the most important
one question, Paweł, because you mentioned about Amazon and Microsoft. What about Google? Is there anything similar to this?
Yes,
in Google?
Google is, but I'm mentioning this from those two because those two I've been using myself. However, I haven't been using Google at all, so it's hard for me to recommend something that I don't know. But I assume they have similar solutions, and well, in another way to saying they definitely have similar solutions. However, I don't know anything about them. That's my point. So that would be the OpenRouter, and the most important link in the internet in regards to having models, having anything to do with training datasets, space, and so on, is the Hugging Face one. So you should use this if you have anything to do with AI models, because you can easily search here for models that you can run locally, non-locally, for any solution that you can have. So as you can see here, like image generation, video generation, text, language translation, whatever you need, 3D models. So it's very easy and very fast to test and check which actually model suits your needs. And you can build and actually host it here. Quick applications for people to run. And actually, to keep that in mind, don't click randomly and just paste, for example, your OpenAI keys or stuff like that into those applications, just to keep that in mind. However, it's still something that I recommend fully, and also it's very cheap pricing if you need to have more than basics, right? It's also like $20 and $50 if you need more, and you have a team. So this is the let's say model side, when you can test how each model performs or does things. So now we can move on to actually the first topic that I mentioned, which is the MCP. So MCP servers, how do you actually find them? So there are potentially hundreds of registries. However, I wanted to show you some of the best ones, or the most reliable ones, I would say. So this first one, you have to keep in mind that it's being called official, but this is because it's basically based on official implementation of Anthropic MCP registry, but those MCP servers that are being listed here are not exactly scrutinized fully. So basically anybody can publish anything here. So to keep that in mind, just don't install randomly. And it lacks multiple like things, basically filters and stuff. So this is official only in name, yeah.
Just to be sure that everyone is on the same page, does it mean like that this repository is something similar to Maven Artifactory or Chart Museum? Or
yeah,
kind of...
more or less. So do you have a list of things that you can install? Yeah, so it's basically that. You can see here each of those should have a GitHub repo you can check out and so on, yeah, and how to install and so on. But as I said, keep that in mind. With the MCP space and how fast it grows and how many people are creating them, it's very easy to make a mistake to install something malicious and to regret this choice after. So yeah,
so no one is verifying these packages, right? It's just like
not
you can
exactly
put anything.
No, yeah. Basically, if you have like specific format and you restrict some things, so you can publish whatever you want, right? And also, even after even after somebody checked, if you then change the version and so basic security stuff. So you can bind to a specific version, and then the version can be changed remotely anyway. So anyway, that's something that I wanted to highlight. So I don't recommend exactly this one, but I wanted to show you because if you search for MCP servers, this will come up. And so for those, I actually recommend is like Pulse MCP service. It's one of them. So you can check here, yeah. And actually, most of them is you can see like 7,000 whatever. There are more than 7,000, but here, for example, so they are more curated. And with this official flag, you can kind of be sure, like let's say 80% that it's safe, yeah. For Playwright and Upstash, right, those big companies, you can definitely be sure, but you need to check definitely from where it comes from, yeah. but I highly recommend actually one of them is here. This is the context 7. You should always use this one if you do anything about programming. This actually provides context for most programming languages that exists. So this one is very useful. Same for Playwright, but I'm not gonna be like going through each of them, but I'm just saying that this will come up a lot, the context 7 one, and I recommend it. So another one is Smithery, which is the like one of the biggest registries, I think. Yeah, same deal, just different UI. Yeah, and there is another thing which is being provided by the arcade company. They actually create a lot of those MCP servers, and those I can recommend all of them. Basically, are fine. Yeah, you can see here for multiple popular applications. This is also useful for enterprise because you have stuff like Teams or LinkedIn and Stripe or whatever you do. So those are safe, at least for now. And same here. This is all from GitHub itself. You have a registry of servers, like only 65, so you can see the difference, right? Those are curated. so yeah, so those you can install freely. And one more thing, how actually you do install those things. So one of the easiest ways to do anything with MCP servers, if you have a Docker application or similar, but Docker provides something called MCP Toolkit as a beta, but still. So you have a catalog of MCP servers, which is, you can see multiple times that they're the same servers that you can see in previous registries. But let's say you want to install one of them, yeah, you just add it here, bam, you get it installed. And if you have clients available, like let's say, for example, Code or Cursor or Visual Studio Code, you can just click connect and it will automatically be installed in your IDE or whatever you are actually using, LMC, whatever. And then you have those MCP servers available, which is, I think, the fastest way to not bother with any configuration and just 2 clicks and you have something, right? I highly recommend it if you haven't used it before. Yeah. So one more thing. Yeah, okay. Glam AI is another one registry, but something I wanted to mention before, but I forgot. But let's say so. This is new thing. Let's move on out of the MCP registry and have tools part. So Anthropic introduced something called agent skills, and this is kind of murky at this point because not everybody is using this nomenclature as difference between skills and tools and MCP servers and so on. But in short, skills is something that you can put in here, like you can see an example in a folder with basically prompts and scripts for the LLM or like agent to use without referencing MCP server externally. So just as a little joke, at the end, everything boils down into a bash script running, which is exactly what you can do here. You can have a script for doing anything you want. And this is important because this reduces a lot of like reasoning pressure and token generation from models, basically making it cheaper to run. So you don't need to like for a model to have a call for something to let's say convert PDF to whatever to text and making it run a code generation and then running this and so on. You can just have a simple script that does this, which is actually how it should have been done from the beginning, but now we're coming like a full circle. Yeah.
So what is the main purpose of skills? Is it about reducing the load on the models?
Yes, this one of them, one of the main ones, and the second one to have it like more easily available contexts and without loading everything. Like if you have, let's say, 100 plus servers, MCP servers in like one of the models being loaded, and each of those MCP servers can have, let's say, 20 tools. Yeah. So now you have to start the model, you're running this every time, basically starting and loading and everything coming into like thousands or hundreds of thousands of tokens potentially. So you can see why it's not exactly wanted with the costs going up and up. Yeah. And this will only reference specific thing when needed. Yeah, this will not load everything from the start. It is just gonna be checking. Okay, scripts. Now I can run this one. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. You can see examples in here, like what can you do? Like use the skill when user needs to work for PDF files as an example. Yeah, so if something is done, then okay, this script is being run, and then that's it. Yeah. Anyway, so this is about skills. So since this is talk about kind of AI platform engineering, so one of those is I think I read like 70 or 80% of projects regarding AI and platforms, and actually anything running in production fails at the level of, okay, how can we audit this? How can we make sure that the agent actually is being run by the people that have supposedly access to it and not everybody, right? Or even how can we make sure that the agent is being correct and, are there any traces? Are there any logs from this, right? Is this... let's say in like before there was no way to make sure that the agent was not being treated as a user, right? Because if you have some user be running something, let's say command, give me, I don't know, run a script and give me all the users of the database, right? So this will be treated as you running it, but that's not true. The agent is running it, so you need to know about it, like stuff like that. So there are multiple tools currently in development or being developed or already being used actually, and I wanted to show you some, or at least reference them. So one of those main ones, I think, for me is something called Agent Gateway, which is currently part of the K Gateway, and they boast the most widely used deployed gateway in Kubernetes. True or not, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it's really working and actually helps you a lot with the problems that I mentioned. So authentication, proxying, airbag. So keep that in mind, that you need to have something in between your agents and your clients to make sure that anything being run remotely is actually, under control and have observability possibilities and so on.
So this is something what we know as web application firewalls from the past, right? Like WAF or ingress controllers, kind of gateway.
More or less
securing the income and outcome traffic.
Yes.
Outbound
And that's why the gRPC protocol enhancement from Google that I mentioned before is a good thing because they add this as a like first class citizen, those things that I mentioned, so authentication, authorization, so on. Before you have to translate things. Let's say you have running this MCP server, just running standard input, output, stuff like that. And then you have to add another layer to, okay, how can I understand this? And how can I translate this? And how can I push it somewhere else, right? So stuff like that is also, let's say, because this is very new in general technical terms, but as I said, from AI terms, it's already old. However, it's still growing, and then these growing pains are still here. So one tool that actually leverages all those things that I mentioned, so MCP servers, agent, and running it in Kubernetes or in a platform, and seamlessly integrating with this K gateway, is something called K agent, which is a very new tool, but still I assume this will be getting more popular as the times go. And this one is actually just very easy if you want to start to run actually any workloads on Kubernetes on your own in your own environment, just by using kind. And this one I can show quickly because yeah, I have this prepared. This is just a basic kind cluster with K agent tools, and you can see in localhost. Yeah, and this is being run on my machine currently. So you can see here some defaults, agent, and so on. And just to see how fast and quick it can be, leveraged to check something out. So you just click new agent, you write some name, and yeah, you can have also bring your own agent, but that doesn't matter. So let's say declarative, and you write what exactly you want to have this agent do in here. You select the model. Currently, the configured one is by default, just one. Add some tools. Yeah, let's say whatever. Let's say this one. Yeah. And even skills if you need to. That's something I mentioned. Yeah, and you can have it run. Create agent.
So again, just to be sure that everyone is on the same picture. So the agents are like the clients of MCP servers in this scope.
Agents are the clients. Yes, you can say that. Basically, agent connects to MCP servers, so to query it, to make sure that it understands the specific context of this. So yes, you can have it like that.
And what about the models? So yeah, let's imagine a very simple exercise. We use this query agent, which you have on the screen right now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Could you explain how the process looks like on the backend side? Does it talk to, I know, if let's assume we are using ChatGPT or Gemini. Does it talk to Gemini, and then it talks to the target MCP servers?
Yes.
How it's could you explain the flow on the backend side? How it's
Sure.
implemented internally?
Let me. Let me create it because this is embarrassing that it's gonna. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. This agent not accepted. I don't know why, but that doesn't matter specifically. But what I wanted to show you, that basically you can have any of them and just click here, and you can see the tools, and I will explain. So for now, let's say this K gateway agent, which is having access to those tools, you can talk to it, and this at the backend side basically talks to the specific model provided by, in this case, OpenAI. But you can have multiple different providers for the models, and you can see here you are asking about what do I talk to? And you can see here, this is by default provided for K-agent configuration and, Anthropic, Anthropic Vertex and so on. As I mentioned about Azure, those models from Azure, Gemini, whatever, and Ollama, meaning this one you can run locally. And actually, if you want to, you can create your own models configuration, so you can run anything you want. Just that means more, being more involved. I wanted to show it a simple one, but if you want to have your own model, you can also run it. So at the backend side, coming back to your question, it's being run, your chat, you being inferring something, then this chat tests if it's your question matches anything that capability that it has from tool side. Let's say coming back to PDF, you talk about converting PDF. It checks, okay, do I have anything regarding converting PDFs in my toolset? Yes, I have something. Then it's actually using this specific tool to do this. Otherwise, it would be, properly creating you some code snippet, how to create a script to convert PDFs in like some language and then so on. So not every model is capable of tool calling. You have to make sure that it actually is. Main ones from the main providers like Anthropic, OpenAI, others do have it built in, but not every model is as easily using the MCP servers or tools. So keep that in mind, and not every model does everything. So coming back to this site, that's why if you have if you have this, for example, video generation or text generation, so on, you can have multiple models and check which one actually does the best, right? So that's the gist of making sure that you have all the flow configured properly. And you should keep in mind also that model plus context only specifically to your workload should be the smallest available. So you shouldn't add more than you need to, because then it becomes more and more difficult for the model actually to choose the specific thing, and you basically making it more general than it's supposed to be. The smaller, the better. That's the gist of what I'm saying. Yeah.
So from the platform engineering perspective, I could say that I need basically 3 components to be deployed. K-agent, which is a kind of agent orchestrator, I would say, right? Which you can deploy on your local machine, on your desktop. Not an issue. You don't even need a strong computer to do that, right? Because it's just a small Docker, I believe, Docker Compose set of Docker images under the hood, right? Second, you need a model.
Somehow
Gemini,
access to the AI model. Yes, either way, you pay for the access or you run it locally for your own.
Which in most cases it's about sharing API key to the model, right? So the K-agent environment can connect to the target APIs. And the third one is about the target MCP servers, right? Which you want to consume, which you want to interact with, right? That's so basically three major components.
Exactly.
Like a must to make the whole system usable.
Yes, and of course, if you have those 3 major ones, then you of course provide the context for your specific workload. So either your repository or your, let's say Kubernetes cluster, whatever you need, or some database that can be referenced as a data for internal knowledge base, something like that.
Okay.
You need to add the main data that it can operate to.
So I have another question there. Let's assume that I have a big database, 2 terabytes in Oracle, right? And I connect my database to this system. So is there a kind of data import process involved, or how the model learn about the content of the database? Is it reading like 2 terabytes or?
No, it's not a good idea to making it access the database directly. You have to contextualize it more specifically and potentially creating a vector database with specific context only. And then that's the layer that should be in between your DB and
okay, so this is why vector databases are so popular today, right?
Yes.
It's the most optimal way of integrating the context with the whole agentic ecosystem, right?
Yes, it's the whole idea behind the RAG or retrieval augmented generation, right? So the before, but this one is like it's beyond the scope of this like easy presentation. You can of course have this available. It's not that difficult to create something with the vector databases, but it needs some understanding how it works, right? And what exactly is going on inside to make sure that you understand why you get what you get from this database, and how it helps you understanding that vectors are not just a straightforward data. It's just sets of numbers, right? And then anyway, there are some maths involved inside. So but you are right, the vector one is the best known for now idea to have something with the big amount of data available for the model.
Okay, so three key components: the agent, the MCP server, the model, and optionally a dedicated vector database for more specific use cases.
Yeah, then you have also something called, if you want to enhance it even more, then you add memory. So you can have another database that actually stores your sessions, stores your talks, or stores the results from what agent is being used for. And that way you can self-reference. So for example, if this basically creating something along the lines of FAQ, so frequently asked questions, right? And then you can reference, okay, when I was doing this, this was the result. So it just becomes faster in time if the questions are repeatable. Stuff like that. There are more and more. It's a big topic. So I welcome any questions that you have. It's very interesting. So just one more thing that to differentiate between the agents and running things on let's say models and workloads on the platform itself, or Kubernetes in this case. So this agent is only for agents itself, not exactly for running the models, no inference side of things. This is delegated to stuff like VLLMs or QBI, or completely different topic. But keep that in mind. That's not exactly the same thing. Yeah, you cannot run with Kagent the whole.
So we are just model consumers in this this picture, right?
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. So from my perspective, that would be it in general overview. And if there are any more questions, I welcome it. If not,
yeah. Since this is one of our very first webinars like this, there are not so many people online, so I'll be asking most questions. Sure. Okay. We have still like 15 minutes left. So are there any alternatives to Kagent which you could recommend for development and testing, or is it like it doesn't make any sense for now? It's like Git and Subversion. Everyone uses Git, so what's your thought on this?
Kagent is just one way of running this, but it's easy But to make sure that you have ability to let's say experiment on your own, it's something that you can basically create your own agent and run it as a Docker image. So you don't need K-agent for this, right? So you can just run it by on your own. It has even this is referencing the bring your own agent model. So it just then making sure that you have something under one umbrella, but you don't need it.
So again, when comparing to the Java world, which most people know, it's like a Maven tool, like helping them, with packages, and managing the local Java ecosystem, right?
Yeah. So this is the other one that you asked about. So this one I've used, and this one is very creatively called AutoGPT. This basically does more or less what the K-agent does, with more models available from the start. But yeah, this one, another tool that you can use. It's even like has tutorials and so on. It also can be locally hosted.
Okay. When it comes to gRPC and the security layer, from what I understand, there are two main communication channels between the agent and the target model, like ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on, right? So this is like one communication link where we send the data for network for the internet, basically to the target model, right? And second, about MCP agent MCP server communication, which is like another link. Network link,
yes.
which can be potentially insecure. So how both of these channels are secured? Is it all based on gRPC? And what about the certificate management? Who is responsible for certificates setup? Because in gRPC, certificates are a must, right? So how do you configure this part?
As I said, I have no idea in gRPC specifically, because this is like 1 day old. So this one I cannot answer. However, as I mentioned before, the MCP needs some proxy if you want to have proper security in this site. So that most of them are being written in only with STDO in mind, so just standard input/output. There is no security there.
So it's like HTTP in the old days, right?
Yes,
HTTP.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a clear text traffic, and So
you
the only
need
way
something
to
like agent gateway. That's why. This one is a proxy, and it can handle the necessary authentication, authorization, and certificates in the inside. Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically similar model to Kubernetes and service mesh, where we delegate the responsibility for securing the network traffic to the service mesh layer, to Istio, for example. So the applications, the actual products, don't need to be even aware of, how it is secured, which versions of the protocol is used, what protocol is used, right? They don't care at all about that. They just send and receive the data. And same way, Agent Gateway is like Istio in this picture.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go into the documentation for the K gateway, it's just exactly what you say. It's like Envoy, Istio, and so on. It's basically a service mesh, and one of those protocols that's being used inside is XDS, which is the basically service discovery protocol, which you add, for example, new agent or new capability, and it's being discovered automatically and proxies through the agent gateway, stuff like that. So exactly as you say.
Yeah. So that explains why actually the same team is responsible for both, for Istio and I think for Envoy, right? Istio and Agent Gateway, right? Is it the same company?
No,
behind?
Solo.io, yeah, those are the same guys.
Solo.io, but they are also involved into Envoy, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure. I don't remember, but it's easy enough to check.
Which is is also a part of the service mesh ecosystem. Yeah, I think Envoy was their main
now it's
product.
all
Yeah.
Glue.
So
Yeah, Glue Gateway.
It will be very hard to find what they did before AI on the website. That's for sure.
So anyway, I highly recommend them as a good resource. This one actually, this book is very nice to read about. If you're interested in it in any way about agents and running it in Kubernetes. And I also recommend their CEO blogs directly, which is something that actually is source of a lot of my specific knowledge about like OAuth and authentication between agents and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one actually is one of the recent ones talking about what you mentioned before, and how can we leverage Entra ID and agent authentication, right? So agentic on behalf of. So this is something that's very useful.
At this stage, since most of the companies and enterprises are only experimenting with AI or agentic infrastructure, security is not that much important because it's mostly POC, MVP, and this kind of stage.
Might be true, somewhat, but if it would be fully true, then we wouldn't have such issues like we had some big hacks and people basically actually are running this kind of workloads just gung-ho, meaning without any security. Okay. Something to note, in all of those things I haven't mentioned at all about the security side from like prompt injection side, and securing this is very hard and potentially impossible in some cases. But one more tool that that I found and somewhat used is something called Super Agent, which is actually a tool that basically you call before you run some prompts and so on. You can sanitize those things, right? And this is also available as a self-hosting thing. But most I see a very big niche for this kind of projects and startups, and there will be a lot more in the future. Or probably the hyperscalers will add it as a offering.
Okay. We have two Wojteks on the call. Any questions from your side, guys? If not, then I have more process-oriented question, and I believe that the answer will be published as a kind of short on YouTube, Paweł. So let's try to keep it simple and short, 30 seconds. How to introduce, let's say that my role in the organization is CTO, and I would like to introduce 50, 60, 100, maybe 200 agents over the next few years to manage my infrastructure. What will be the process to do so, right? How to start actually automating my infrastructure with the agentic path?
How to start? Start small. Start with known patterns, and don't try and force the agents just because you want to have agents. Make sure that they actually provide useful enhancement to your processes, not only more costs, because that's the biggest hurdle I think for all the companies due to the hype of AI and everybody talking about it, everybody wants it. So they put the AI workloads everywhere, even if they are not needed or they bring less value or even make the product or the system worse, because you need to then not only manage the system itself, but also the agents and adding more complexity than necessary. So start small, start like happy paths, and be a quick feedback loop. So if it works, then you iterate. If not, you stop and then try somewhere else and stuff like that. So that's how I would approach it with agents, and keep in mind the cost That's one thing that don't lock into a specific provider, because you might be surprised at some point. Yeah, and yeah, that same
but
deal
this is more like a generic
product.
process to basically
Yes.
anything in IT, right?
But that's people forget.
Okay, so-
most of the people, yeah, forgotten that they should do the same thing.
But I have more specific question, how to start. So when it comes to the agent orchestrator, K-agent is a great option today. It's open source, it's free, right? So I deploy a dedicated K-agent per single developer, per single engineer, or just, one
No, it's K-agent is not
environment in the cloud.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Kubernetes or in our, internal infrastructure, right?
So you implement K-agent as a hub. This is the let's say you can call it agent operator from Kubernetes side.
So it's like Argo CD for agents, basically, right?
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, in some way.
You can treat it like
Okay,
that.
so I deploy K-agent. One of my teams, deploys K-agent. It's ready, it's there. We need to decide about the model we want to use, right? Depending on the target use cases, which is infrastructure in our case, not even programming. Yeah, in the end, it's more or less the same. We should decide about the model, right? As we know, Claude is the leading model today, right? As a kind of internal exercise, we should also, run a kind of brainstorming or internal analysis to decide about the model we would like to use, right? Or is it better just to decide about, okay, let's use this, 7 models or 15 models, and see, which is the best for us, or give the choice to the people so they can decide which model they want to use. How would you approach this part?
Give the choice to the people. That's not a good way to do it, because everybody's gonna have each own opinion, which is not the way to enforce such things. No, the best way would be to tailor your specific workload enough to have clear set of instructions, and even your custom MCP servers if you need them, or just add the MCP servers that actually will be enhancing your specific needs. Let's say AWS.
I'm not speaking about the MCP servers yet. I'm speaking about the models.
That's the important part, because the model also, how good is the model depends on what can inference.
Okay.
So if you just run the model itself without anything, then it might do nothing, or just create something that you don't want. So you need to have fully realized workload that okay, I need this and this and that, and then put it into the models, and actually have a competition between let's say most popular ones, 3, 4, 5, whatever the budget allows you to do, and just run them in parallel for some time, doing the same tasks repeatedly, and then see what's the output, and then choose one for your specific need. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that my team decided, we are consuming a lot of services from Google, so Gemini is the natural way to go. It might be not the best model today, right?
Sure.
We hope it to be improved in the future. It's a long-term project. We don't need everything to be production ready next month, right? It's more about the next 1, 2, 3, 7 years. So we decided about Gemini. Gemini is the model we want to use, right? And then we decided, okay, Kubernetes is the most common use case in our infrastructure, right? Most of the developers use Kubernetes, testers use Kubernetes, FinOps people would like to know about the cost of the resources running in Kubernetes, right? So there's a lot of people and engineering teams working this or another way with Kubernetes in our environment, right? So we need a dedicated MCP server for Kubernetes, according to what I understand from your presentation. And my question to you is, do we have a choice of MCP servers? Are there like 2 or 3, 7 different implementations on the market today? So we can choose, okay, this MCP server is better for us, or how does it look on that side? Is Google or Kubernetes community offering their own MCP server, which is kind of official one? How does it look on that?
Not exactly.
On that side.
There is no one source of truth in this case. You have multiple implementations of the same things to choose from. Some of those do one thing, some of those do another, and you can you can have multiple ones. But in that case, I would just say to create your own tool set, to create your own tailored specifically to your MCP server. and run it also in the Kubernetes as an enhancement. That's how I would do it. To make it fast, you don't create your own. You just use and see if you use available ones and see if it works for you.
No.
But in the long run, I would create your own because of two things. You have fully control on this, so no abandonment, no contributors and so on. After let's say 2 years, you will still have the same ability to make sure that the new version of Kubernetes added something, and then you can add it yourself. That's one thing. And the other, security. If it's accessing the the secure data that you need to only stay in your organization, you should have full control over where this server is run, because not all of them are actually local. Some of them are not. So yeah.
Okay, but this means that the best way to go would be if the Kubernetes community creates MCP server for Kubernetes, Argo community creates a dedicated
Argo
MCP
actually
server
has an official one.
Official one, okay.
Argo.
So that's the ideal scenario, because then we can assume that it's relatively secure, right? It's relatively good quality, and it will be hard to compete for the people from outside Argo CD to deliver a better MCP server for Argo CD. While not being a part of Argo CD development team, right? Or not?
See, that's the case with this. Even if those official ones are there, oftentimes they're not exactly tailored to what you need, and some functionalities are just repeated. That you can do this. This coming back to the skills, you can do this without an MCP server, without using tokens. You can just run a script and it will do this better and faster, and without potential errors of hallucination stuff. So you have to make sure that you just don't repeat the same functionality again and again without checking, because that's the big topic, I would say. You don't want to have repeated usage of the tools that you can already use without the MCP or the agent itself. You want to have infer the intent. So you just write something that you need, and then the agent decides, but it can still use, for example, kubectl if it needs to. It doesn't have to have MCP specifically to just that, right? It can use kubectl, it can use whatever bash script. So that's my take on it.
So then it sounds to me more like the Kubernetes operators market today. So for example, when I want to deploy a Postgres database, I can use CNPG, Cloud Native Postgres operator. I can use Zalando operator. There are also 2 or 3 other implementations on GitHub today. Maybe not that much mature, but is there. You can choose them if you prefer them more than Zalando, for example, right?
Yes.
And you have also Crossplane. You have also ISO, ACK, KCC, a bunch of other operators allowing you to deploy Postgres clusters. So like different use cases, different workflows, or different implementations. So the choice of the MCP server depends on your particular scenario, on your particular
exactly.
needs and specific use cases, right? So it's not like there is one best MCP server for Kubernetes that is good for everyone in the world today.
No.
There might be multiple different implementations addressing specific needs. Like, for example, I think FinOps could be a good option, right? People interested in FinOps, they don't need the whole scope of Kubernetes API. They just need a couple of endpoints to be supported in there, right?
So that's exactly it, and that's why the toolsets or skills also come into play. But this is, like I said, new thing. But from what I would do in case of organization that actually needs or wants to use the agents and MCP in their workflows, is to have the MCP registry company-wide. So then you have curated curated MCP servers that whole company can use, and then you don't have this issue with, okay, you choose this one and this is gonna be abandoned in 2 weeks. And then you can build on top of it, right? You can just, MCP server can have also referenced another MCP server that doesn't need to be, bound into just one thing, yeah? You can have, like, say, multiple MCP servers being called from another MCP server. So it's like, this is like...
And this is where they
blocks.
use this A2A, agent-to-agent protocol, or is it...
No,
something else.
Agent to agent is a little bit different, but it can be used kind of like that, meaning that the agent to agent says, okay, there is a specific file with which lists what this kind of agent can do, right? And what it does, and then another one reads it and says, you can do this, so I don't have to. And I can just reference you in this case, right? So this is what the agent-to-agent protocol in very, very simple terms does.
Right. Okay, Paweł, we have only 5 minutes left. I have shared the link to the Kanu project, or KaiPe, which is AI platform engineering from Cisco and Amazon, open source framework. You have used one of the slides from them.
Yes, because it's a useful thing. Yeah.
Would you recommend, because I want to start building my own, home lab for this specific topic, like agent MCP servers and so on, right? I would like to have something, a copy of production systems used by enterprises. Do you see KaiPe Kanu as a good starting point, or are there some other better frameworks, alternatives? I don't know, because according to what I see on their website, it's just, maybe you can open the page because we are still sharing your screen. What do you think about this framework? Is it worth to start with, or are there better options?
So Kanu, or this one, the community,
this one, exactly.
Community version. So yeah, I think so. It can be a good starting point, but keep that in mind that the documentation is not exactly finished, and you'll have to dig a little deeper than just following straight one-to-one instruction. However, yes, if you have a desire to see how the distributed system with multiple agents, with multiple tools and authentication and so on works, then this is the good starting point. I mean, you will not build it yourself faster than that.
They mentioned they have already implemented 40 plus agents. Does it mean that this Kanu community implemented their own agents, or their own MCP
probably I haven't done the enterprise version yet. This full version is just running it through some parts of it. So yeah, I don't know.
This is not. There is no enterprise version. It's just open source reference.
No. I mean, and the enterprise version, meaning the enterprise version of this implementation. Yeah, because this is like being called the enterprise security and so on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the full scope. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, some of those agents are being created by using the templates that there's actually available documentation there, and you can use this template to create an agent very quickly. But this one, you need to know programming a little bit, at least. There's like React, TypeScript, stuff like that.
But they don't use K-agent yet, right?
No, in here
they use Docker. They use Docker and Compose, so you just pull Docker images directly.
That's what I said before. Like you don't need K-agent. You can just run it in a Docker environment.
Which is ugly because it's quite complicated. The whole setup is quite complicated.
Yes.
You have a lot of API keys, which should be secured some way, right?
Yes. But that's the whole idea. It's very new. It's all just learning, and the whole infra is probably you use what you know, right? And since the Docker is the faster the way, then that's why.
According to one of the latest Cisco webinars, they already replaced 3 FTEs, full-time employees, with this particular set of agents. Mainly related to Jira, creating accounts, documentation, some very basic administrative tasks, but that's the statement for Cisco. So it's a kind of experimentation, but already quite practical.
We can talk about this, but that's gonna border on philosophy and what I think about it is I think it's beyond the scope.
Okay.
Just to talk here.
Okay, we are running out of time. So Paweł, that was a great session for me. I learned a lot. As you know, I didn't watch too much this space. Apart from the fact that I was, aware of all of these frameworks, protocols, and so on, but I didn't have like a full picture of how it's all connected. So big thanks for that. Only question to you is to collect all the links you have shared today, and we'll put them under the recording, okay, in the descriptions, description session on YouTube. Wojtek, final comment for you. You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
Okay, technical issues.
Perfect ending.
Okay, so thank you everyone. That was our very first technical webinar. Over the next weeks and months, we are going to provide a number of similar sessions and discussions around AI native platform engineering. So feel free to join as many times as you can. So yeah, thank you everyone, and I believe we'll be closing. Cheers.
Thank you.